What's up, everybody? It's your favorite tyrannical robot's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at MegaSTeel Storm Emperor. This is on loan to me from Ken C, so special shout out to him. I definitely appreciate it. He sent me a bunch of other goodies too. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to review them all, but I definitely appreciate the thought and gesture. But definitely wanted to take a look at this guy, namely because there's a number of issues going on. First of all, we'll get the size comparison issue right out of the way. The number one thing working against him is that he's so small. He's kind of an IDW inspired Megatron. He's also kind of, you know, Cybertronian, Fall of Cybertronian-ish. Like there's a little bit of that in there, but I think he's mainly like an IDW design homage, and there he is next to Springer, and that just doesn't work for me. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about accessories. He's got 5mm ports all over him to hold on to these accessories. We'll just get him out of the way so that we can focus a little bit. So here's like a large cannon, and this piece hinges. There's a lot of paint issues with this guy. The finish is nice, but like this was together when they painted it, so you got the silver paint on one side of the handle here and not the other. It's just bizarre. That opens up, and then something happens here, I think, too. This pushes out, so this extends, and silver finish looks good where it's supposed to be applied, and then this gunmetal kind of finish there looks good. The black looks pretty good, and the silver looks finished up there as well too, and then the red translucent on the back all looks fine. Comes with this pistol, just a black single cast, fine. Comes with this pistol, black single cast, fine, decent line work and all. Comes with this sword, black piece down here. You can plug it in there as an accessory as well, 5mm port. And then we have this red translucent tip, which looks nice. I don't know if I get it, but it looks nice. And then he has two more. This piece here with this gunmetal stripe on it, which looks nice, and then the red translucent piece here, and that folds in. I think we'll talk about this a bit later. And then this mace on the chain, probably purple translucent would have been a better choice, but it's a red translucent. The spikes are kind of dull, but I'm okay with that because it can be like a crushing weapon. Just a heads up, if you buy this guy, this sits in a plastic tray kind of tight, and your instinct is to pull the chain, but I have a feeling that you could very well snap this thinner piece of translucent plastic by doing that, so use caution. And also the chain is rusting. Now, this is on loan to me, but I speak to Kim fairly often. I don't think he's an irresponsible dude, so I don't think he's been letting this sit in a water tray or anything, so I'm going to guess it's a product issue. But I don't know that to be the truth beyond a reasonable doubt, let's say. So this is the figure. Okay, there's a number of issues here. The paint, when it's applied correctly, is top shelf. One of the issues with this guy is that it's rarely, well, not rarely, it's not always applied correctly. And we'll talk about that kind of as we go on. The head sculpt, I don't feel like it's Megatron-ish, but I don't get like a real heavy Megatron vibe off of it. They painted over the translucent bit in the black with the silver, the back with the silver, which would have given you the light piping, because it is a translucent plastic, and this joint is a little loose, so that's an issue. They painted over it probably because it didn't look right, I would guess, but now the silvers don't quite match either. So what are you gonna do? The chest, alright, so this is for transformation, this sliding piece here, but as a result it kind of wiggle waggles on you a little bit. They did do this finish on there with the curly cues, like the chest hair. That's a nice touch. You know, nobody does that anymore. You know what I mean? So, and that actually takes a fair amount of, effort. So I take my hat off to them for that. The silver does look nice there, but it doesn't match this silver nor this silver. However, it's one of those things where it may not have to match. You know what I mean? Like it may be purposeful. The red here and here, you see we got red paint that is spilled over from here onto there, and then we have red paint that wasn't finished along there, and the red paint is chipping on this side. but it looks okay there and there. The torso, it spins both at the top piece a little bit from side to side, about that much, and then at the bottom piece as well, but not so much on this side as it does on this side. So it's I think you get enough, but it doesn't feel like it's what you want. You know, it feels like you want a little bit more. The paint down in there looks pretty good, but like these, I think this is supposed to be a different color down in there. The mold loses definition right here, so it doesn't look like they knew where to stop this darker silver to this lighter silver. So that's not best. I think they did the best they could given the finished product, but that's not the best it could be. Shoulders. The joint is up in there. It's a universal, soft ratcheted. See, I don't like this either. It doesn't want to stick together. Soft ratcheted out and in, and then just the swivel is non-ratcheted. This piece is on a hinge as well, but articulation is very limited. You only get that far up unless you want to turn it up and around, and then that works fine. But just letting you know that that's the case. This piece here is fine on this side, and it's actually painted fairly well on this side too. Red gets a little carried away there, but on this side it's loose, and it's fairly challenging to get it to stay up. So he kind of always looks like he has a droopy shoulder, which is a bummer. Red paint there, that looks good actually on that side, and then this has a gunmetal finish there, which is cool. There's the color of the plastic, so you can see it without the silver finish. So I mean, it has a lot of paint finish on it. Bicep swivel works fine on both sides. Single jointed elbow, but gets you just past 90 degrees, which is impressive. Wrist swivel, fingers, base knuckle hinge, and silver finish on all that. No paint on the red, which is fine. Silver paint on the hand, which actually looks pretty good. Moving down the figure, we have the hips. So we have these skirts, and they pop out to the side to allow your universal joint, which is ratcheted both out and soft ratcheted front and back. It's actually a hard ratchet, it just doesn't click all the time. Thigh swivel that's really tight and kind of scary, much more scary on this side than the other side, so use caution because that could snap a mushroom peg. Silver paint on there, that looks good. The red paint on these things could have used a second coat because it's red on black and it doesn't really work. The red is chipped on this one, it's fine on that one, and it's fine down below as well. Knees, ratcheted, gets you, we'll say 90 degrees, close enough. Got the silver finish on there. Plastic treads with a wheel, a translucent red wheel, which I think is kind of a stupid choice, just color-wise. I'm okay with it being a wheel. Silver paint on there, which is really shoddy. I mean, it's all over the place. And then red paint there and there, which arguably could have used a second coat, but I kind of like it looking a little duller there for whatever reason. And then the back looks fine. Red paint there, which is much better done than those two notches, and then the silver finish on the feet. These might be die cast here. This feels die casty. Same on the other side. For the foot articulation, you have an ankle tilt and rocker, so that's cool, and then a toe tilt down, nothing really up. So that's fine. And that's this fella. Oh, I guess we'll talk about the backpack a little bit. It's definitely there. It doesn't really stay locked like in a secured position, which I'm not super fond of. The paint on it is pretty well done. The finish looks great. And that's him. Alright, so let's get started. Knee flaps down, collapse the legs up, and then tab them together. Alright, flap up, hands in. This is a really tight joint here. And then take this, tab that into there. Same on the other side. Flap up, fingers up, hand in, find that tab, plug it in. bring this up, slide this forward, rotate the head around, and like this, like, there you go. I just can't do much with that. Bring these around here. You want to have your gun ready, and that goes into, does this piece? Yes, this tabs in here. And that's a nice little bonus. And then all of this should come together. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on a second. Alright, so my problem is here that I don't have this collapsed enough. Because this, there. Alright. There. Alright, and then this part is the biggest pain, just because the amount of stuff that kind of has to happen. These come out, they just slide out of this thing. There's a double hinge here and it's ratcheted, so it's kind of problematic, and then these pieces fold up. It's like 90 degrees, and then so you can slide that back in. I'm not squaring it off yet because there's a whole thing you got to do with this, but like, I don't like how that connects. Like, it doesn't seem solid. There. There. This thing comes up and it turns into like a bucket. It's like a catch-all. And then these pieces come around, and it all tabs together. There. There. And then these pieces tab into, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this on camera, but it's basically that, except that when these pieces are tabbed in, like, you see that little hole in there, the little one, there's a little peg on this black piece that connects to that hole, but it's pretty challenging to see, so I may get it off camera and then we'll come back to it. Alright, I got one side. I wasn't able to get the other side, and it's a small black tab, so I don't want to risk damaging this thing. So then it's just a matter of kind of cleaning it up, and it feels like this should collapse more, but these feet come down, and then like there's like all these little silly, this comes down, and then these come out, that comes out. I feel like there's something else. These come down, these come out. That doesn't want to, but you get the idea. It comes out, and yeah, sheesh, I don't know, buddy. It doesn't quite do it for me. I mean, there's some cool elements of it. It almost looks like the tank is backwards to me. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the turret turns, but I almost feel like that looks better. You know. I don't know. I don't know. Rolls okay. And then you can arm up all your stuff here. Easy for me to say. And there's, like I said before, there's 5mm ports all over this thing, so I'm sure I might not find a place. Maybe here. You know what? I may have to. Let's see what we can do. You know what I mean? Let's just make it as obnoxious as possible. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. There's one thing that I do find cool about it, and that's that the bumper, like the back of that, looks like that. Like the, you know, like that's a way for that paint to pay off twice. That's kind of a smart choice. Oh, you know what? These, I think this whole, yeah, that it even goes further up. Like, to me, that looks worse. But whatever, whatevs. Yeah, there it is. There's your tank. If you like that sort of a thing, I don't. So, but there it is. Color and stuff shows up well. The breakups between silvers and purples, and these swivel. I'm not sure if I knew that. What about this? It sure does. Good for them. Final thoughts. There's just a ton wrong. The scale is wrong. The alt mode doesn't feel quite right. The transformation's actually okay, but it doesn't pay off. The paint, there's definitely pride in it, but they got to work on how they get it to stick, Mac, because this is coming off all over the place. The articulation is there, but the bulkiness of the bot gets in its way, so it can't get out of its own way to use the articulation. There's parts on it that are loose, that shouldn't be, that feel like they're not connected, that should be. I can't think of very much to say about it. It's just kind of a mess. To be honest, it's just kind of a miss everywhere. All the pieces that stick together in the torso are floppy. I mean, can you imagine? That's MegaSteel Megatron. Yeah, it's obnoxious. Can you imagine that? Although you can't keep the pieces you want to keep stiff. It's just flopping around.
Yep. I think I can imagine that.
On the plus side, though, the materials are good. The ratchets and stuff where they're pretty good. There is pride taken in the paint. They just have to figure out how to get it to work. And it comes with a ton of accessories. I think I said that one gun was a single cast. It's actually not. It's on a hinge. I don't even know where it's at now. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. It's on a hinge, so it actually it's 2 pieces of plastic. It's just I think this company's heart's in the right place. The problem is the product's not. I'd love to see the product match the heart. Shout out to Ken for letting me take a look at it. I definitely appreciate the gesture. I really and sincerely do. I always hate kind of having to trash a figure that somebody sends me that's out of their personal collection. And you know, if he's happy, then I'm happy for him. And if you have this, then I'm happy for you. But it's not for me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.